Hi friends, this is Mrs. Tucker. Today's story is called The Loose Tooth, and it's part of Lesson 2 in our Sanford Harmony. It's actually Story 2 in Lesson 2 of our Sanford Harmony. And before we start, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever seen a friend feeling happy, sad, or angry, and then you had to figure out why they were feeling that way? And so, if you have, what can you do to try to understand somebody else's feelings? So think about that as we talk about how everyone has different feelings or emotions, and understanding each other's feelings can help people get along. So we kind of have to look for clues and think back to what maybe happened first, or by talking to somebody else, you can help better understand why they have the feeling that they have and what the feeling is. And so in this story, we're going to talk about a group of friends that have to figure out why they are each feeling the way that they do. And as we listen to the story, I want you to pay attention to the times when the characters have different feelings and think about what may be causing those emotions or feelings. So let's get started with the loose tooth. One morning, Kayla stood outside her classroom and wiggled her tooth back and forth with her finger. It had been loose for so long, and she really wanted it to fall out today. Whenever someone loses a tooth at school, they get to go to the office and get a plastic tooth-shaped necklace to hold it in. Kayla really wanted to wear one of those necklaces. Just then, she spotted her friends Jeremy and Mia. She grinned and eagerly waved them her way. "Hey, Kayla," Jeremy said. "Why are you so excited?" Kayla pointed to her tooth. "I think it's going to come out today." "Oh, cool," said Mia. "Then you'll get a tooth necklace to take home." "Oh, there's Miss Denny," said Kayla, pointing down the hallway at their school principal. "I want to show her my loose tooth." She hurried away, and Jeremy and Mia turned to go into their classroom. As the kids walked to their desks, Jeremy stopped to look at the show and tell board. It was Kayla's turn today. He wondered what she had brought to show the class that afternoon. A few minutes later, Jeremy noticed that Kayla had arrived in the classroom and was standing in front of the show and tell board. Her mouth and eyes were open wide, and she looked very surprised. "I didn't know it was my turn for show and tell today," Kayla exclaimed as she sat down next to her friends. "I didn't bring anything to share." "Well, it's not until this afternoon, so you have plenty of time," Jeremy said encouragingly. "We could all sit together at lunch and help you think of something that you can share." Later in the cafeteria, Kayla sat down at a table and emptied her lunch bag. She unwrapped her peanut butter sandwich and took a big bite, wondering what she could do about show and tell. After a few minutes, Jeremy and Mia arrived at her table. "We have an idea to tell you," they said excitedly. "We have a great idea for show and tell," they explained. The two kids looked at each other and giggled. "You can bring us! You can tell the whole class about how awesome we are." Kayla threw her head back and laughed. "That would be so funny if I could actually do that," she said, "but we should probably think of something else." Then she noticed that her friends were staring at her and looking very surprised. "What's going on?" she asked. Jeremy and Mia both pointed at Kayla. "Your tooth!" they exclaimed at the same time. Kayla's eyes grew wide as she stuck her tongue in the front of her mouth to wiggle her tooth. It wasn't there. She grabbed her sandwich and saw her tooth stuck right in the peanut butter. She pulled it out and wiped it off with her napkin. Finally, it had come out. Kayla glanced at the cafeteria clock with worry. She wrapped her tooth in the napkin and then grabbed the rest of her lunch. "I'm going to go get a necklace now before lunchtime is over. I'll see you back at our classroom," she told her friends. She waved excitedly to them and hurried out the door. Back in their classroom after lunch, the children got ready for show and tell. Mia and Jeremy looked around anxiously, hoping that Kayla would be there soon. Finally, she walked through the door. She was holding a plain white envelope, and she looked very sad as she sat down at her desk. "They were all out of necklaces," Kayla said with a big sigh. "So I just got this envelope for my tooth." She looked around the room as her classmates began gathering in a circle on the carpet. "Oh, great," she grumbled, "and now it's time for show and tell." That's too bad, said Mia kindly. But I'll bet you're the only kid in our class who has ever lost a tooth in a peanut butter sandwich. Kayla looked at her unfinished sandwich, then at her envelope. A huge smile spread across her face. Come on, she said to her friends, let's go to the carpet. For show and tell, Kayla showed her classmates her tooth and told them about losing it in her peanut butter sandwich. She also talked about being disappointed by not getting a tooth necklace, but happy to have something for show and tell. As Kayla put her tooth back in the envelope, her teacher asked if she had anything else she wanted to show or tell the class. Oh, yeah, Kayla answered as she pointed toward Jeremy and Mia. My friends helped me a lot with my show and tell today. Then she smiled at both of them and added, and I think they're both pretty awesome. That's the end of our story for today. So if you're with me in the classroom, we're going to talk a little bit more about the feelings that Kayla had and trying to figure out how to understand what somebody else is feeling. If you are not in the classroom with me, go back to Seesaw and finish the assignment that I have put on there for you to do. Have a great day, friends, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.